Hi, I'm Angela Godwin with Water World Magazine, coming to you from the Blue Tech Forum here in London. Joining me this afternoon is my guest, Devesh Sharma. He is Managing Director of Aquatech. Devesh, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So I want to talk to you a little bit about the hidden costs of water. It's really common to focus on the operational costs, involved, but that's can be kind of a short-term view. Can you explain a little bit?
Yes, the previous conventions were looking at conventional operating costs of water. How much am I consuming? How much energy am I consuming? Are my membranes, the life of the membranes working correctly? Are the membranes lasting long enough? So everything very much around what's happening in the water plant.
Right.
And, sometimes that is okay, and that's a good start, but it's really a drop in the bucket or the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the real impact to an industrial operation on how the water facility is really impacting their overall operations.
So how do we start to really drill down then and sort of identify, what those risks are? Because the tangible ones we can figure out, right? It's the intangible that we have to sort of try to figure out.
Yeah, the things that aren't visible or that part of the iceberg under the water is really we call them the hidden costs of water. And sometimes at the plant level that isn't very much in the limelight, but it is at the corporate level. And the connection of these two is the big challenge in industry today. And there's a variety of risks that you have to look at. The first and foremost is downtime risk. Are you capturing the risk related to what if the system goes down?
Right.
If the system goes down, what's going to happen to the plant? Is there enough storage, or does my plant go down? And if the plant goes down, what's the cost of that? I'm sure it can be quantified. And that has to be looked at when looking at the resiliency of the water system. Beyond that, there's environmental risk, and it ultimately goes to brand risk, which is sometimes priceless.
Right. Exactly. I think it was earlier today, I recall you saying that the most expensive water is no water.
Yes, I use that a lot, is that we always talk about what's the cost of water per meter cubed, and everybody is a lot of times very focused on life cycle cost or even just capital cost, but really are they looking at what is the cost of not having it, of that downtime? And I like to say the most expensive water is no water.
Yeah, it's so true. So any words of advice or anything you would tell water users out there in terms of maybe low-hanging fruit or where they can start or sort of easy things they can look at?
Well, I think where we're trying to work is the alignment and the working with our customers to align the corporate objectives to the plant objectives. And sometimes the corporate objectives are more strategic, they're more long-term thinking, but then the incentives and the focus of the plant is, the short-term balance sheet and P&L of the plant, and trying to find the good happy medium between the two.
Sure.
And I think that's where we want to do a lot of our work, and then that goes into long-term process planning. A big trend that we've seen here today is a lot of end users don't want to look at end of the pipe solutions. They want to see how they can recycle water and recover resources at specific parts of the plant, how they can reduce their use of water to minimize, and we can help with all of these things, and that's really where we want to try to meet at the connection between corporate and plant level.
Right. That makes perfect sense. Absolutely. Well, Devesh, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it, and we wish you all the best of luck going forward.
Thank you very much.
For Water World Magazine, I'm Angela Godwin.